So, quick rundown. Today is Sei, tomorrow is Summer Canis, and then after that is actually going to be finally doing an update to the tier list from... I have to double check it, but I believe it's like it's Saber Medusa to current game state. That's including all the buffs, which I have not even made videos about. So I am falling more behind, but honestly, I'm not caring. I'm just relaxing right now. Once I get back into the swing of things, I'll try to make up those videos, but I'm getting back into work mode after enjoying my summer. So let us get started with Sei Shonagon. And first off, this is an NA review. So I am going to bring up the Summer Skadi synergy, but TLDR, don't expect too much from this servant right now. She actually does need Summer Skadi because she cleans up a lot of Sei's kit. Without Summer Skadi, you pretty much have to mix and match Skadi and Vitch in order for her to function, which is awkward to say the least. So if you're rolling on Summer Kama and you get a bunch of copies of Sei, she's not the worst thing, but she's not functional in the meta right now. And speaking of Sei functioning, holy shit, if you read through the event, she is literally like Nobu or Haruhi Suzumiya, like as a berserker, especially like the first it's not interlude, the node that is like specific for Sei is... I did not watch Haruhi Suzumiya. I really need to, but it really feels like she's pulling like gag character, Servantverse, Haruhi Suzumiya stuff. It is actually wild what Sei is supposed to represent in this event. Because like it really is a character in Fate even more than normal Servantverse stuff. All right, let's get started. First off, base attack nice and high for a berserker, 9.9, and I believe she gets the berserker modifier on top of that, so she's not at 10k, but it's basically 10k. HP, it's lower than her attack, which is what we expect by berserkers. Not by much, but it's still lower. And it's actually funny that it takes 120 for her to have more HP than attack. I just find that funny. She is man attribute, although I don't really talk about attributes much going over it or thinking about it in hindsight. Star gen 5%, star weight 10, normal berserker stuff, MP charge a whole %. It means if you crit on this arts card and if you crit on the quick guard, you are getting a lot of gain. This 1% berserker MP gain is like year 1 stuff, but she actually has year current modern hits. Extra attack, pain point, but it's gonna refund a lot. It's gonna refund a lot for an extra attack. Star gen, not so much, but she is a quick berserker. So I mean, if you're using a quick card, she should gen some stars. But again, it's a quick berserker with only 1 quick card. Again, this triple buster, the reason I say Roller Skadi and why currently, if you want to use her effectively, you'd use OG Skadi and Vitch. You would not use double Skadi because you're not getting much back. Yeah, also Sei has a very different costumes or swimsuits. Like her stage 1 and 3 are about the closest, but her 2 is definitely very different. Very Yaru gal, whatever you want to call it. All right, First skill, 30% attack, 30% crit damage, and 20 battery. 20 battery is unfortunate, but it's Sei, right? Archer Sei has the same type of battery. It's not good, but I mean, it kind of feels just crammed on here. Like, these two effects are very strong for a berserker. Like, a lot of them do have like 30 attack buff. They don't have charismas that are usually like raw attack buffs. So her having them at 30, it's a good number to start with. It's definitely gonna get amped with any supports, but at least she has it. Second skill, survivability for a berserker. It's not a guts, but it's still good. It stops her from taking damage, and it's not turn restrictive. So 2 attacks, 3 turns. This is pretty standard these days. Crit damage, 100% for 1 turn. Star weight for 1 turn, 5,000%. This is a crit skill. It should not have the dodge icon in front of it. This is why you pop the skill. You do not pop this skill for the dodge. The dodge is a nice thing that lasts after, but do not just pop this for no reason. You need to be critting when you pop this skill. Now, again, when you have Ruler Skadi, not going to be much of an issue. But currently, you need Vitch, and you need Skadi if you want to use her. Keep saying this, but like, Galatea is in a similar situation, but at least she has like refund on demand. Not right now on NA, but she does have a lot of refund if you pair her with Vitch. Sei needs that kind of refund, but it's not synergizing that well. I do see like Vitch comps with Ruler Skadi, but just not OG, like working fully. Like, and I'm talking about like JP, you'd be doing that. Like, you wouldn't use normal Skadi and Ruler. You'd either be using double Ruler and Vitch, or you'd be using a Ruler and Vitch for cooldown reduction, and 2 Vitches for cooldown reduction, and just like basically treat Sei as a buster farmer. It's not the worst thing, especially since he doesn't exactly have quick buffs. Yeah, like Skadi's got the quick buffs on lock, and like Vitch is gonna just prepare the buster. Running double Vitch will let you double stack this, but honestly, you really should be doing double Ruler and a Vitch. Third skill, recovers 1 ally's HP, gives them burn debuff immunity for 3 turns, and grants stars, 25, on a 5-turn cooldown. Heal is 3k. He has a star bomb. This part, it is lucky that she is a berserker, because if you need to bring her, if you need burn immunity for, say, a Yang Guifei fight, or Bargus, because I'm pretty sure Bargus was laying down the burns, or like any kind of fight that's like heavily dot focused on burns, you don't see burn debuff immunity too often. Obviously, full debuff immunity is better, but most of the time, like, debuff immunity, if you give it to someone, is only going to be 1 turn. This kind of completely negs an entire boss fight mechanic if you play it right. It really does depend on the boss fight, because how many servants are actually doing burn stuff? Not many. Oh, Tomoe goes in, like, any challenge quests that involve her, it's probably going to be burn. Like, again, there are a bunch of servants that do it. It's just like Yang Guifei is the one that screams out to you, and then like everyone else comes after. But overall, she has weak survivability. She has a heal and a dodge. It's not guts, but it's probably as close as you're gonna get with her. The star bomb, very important since she has a crit skill and she has crit damage. If she didn't have this, oh boy, Sei would be in a lot more trouble than she already is on NA. Passives. Madness Enhancement D. I feel like this should be way higher. But 4% buster for all her buster cards are nice. Star weight on quick card. I don't know why it says cards. She only has one. But I mean, I get the grammar. And then last one. Charm debuff resistance by 100%. This does mean if you put charm debuff resistance on Sei, you probably can charm her. It's not gonna be likely, but it does mean you can do it. This is not charm immunity, it's just charm resistance. You can bring it down. I don't know if debuff I actually don't know if this is gonna be a separate thing or it's added into regular debuff resistance and the calculations. But I do think general debuff resistance would. Yeah, I'm sorry, I don't know this off the top of my head whether it's additive with regular magic resist or if it's a separate roll for it. Roll meaning like in D&D how you have to roll for initiative and all that. Roll to see if something works. I think this works similar, but again, I'm not sure. I would definitely check out someone a little more knowledgeable of like the full in-game mechanics and all the formulas, because they would, or look at the formulas yourself to get a more accurate answer. If I'll probably find out and I'll put in a pinned comment. Ben skills. You can ignore that. Okay. So, normally, this is a useless passive, and it still is pretty useless. But at the same time, it's not like it's the stupidest thing to bring a berserker to fight a ruler. If you are super bored, this would actually come up, because if you don't have an Avenger, you're probably going to bring a berserker to fight a ruler. I am not saying to unlock this, because extra attack and mana loading are far more valuable. But this isn't like you're giving a caster alter ego extra damage, like, or a moon cancer like anti-ruler. Anti-Avenger. It's like, it is something you do, it's just not something you should invest in with the current serving coin like economy and stuff. NP, just like Archer, she has a bunch of super power mods. Sorry, power mods. None of these, she does not have super effective damage. Usually on overcharge, it is super effective, but it says right here 1 turn. Super effective damage is never for a turn. This is a power mod. So she gets 3 separate ones. Servants with the lawful alignment. Literally every servant here that isn't a foreigner. So Summer Abigail. 1, 2, 3. 3 servants on this entire list you cannot bring safe to. That's a pretty wide-reaching power mod. Shadow servants. Again, depending on, this is a very no-dependent thing. Shadow servants do come up a lot in farming, just like not in main story. This is more an early game buff than it is a later game. But I mean, you still have nodes that have shadow servants. They're just like, they're just not the most important thing, or they're AoE. So you're probably using a farmer for it. And again, we have a very general power mod, man attribute, which is the most common attribute. Yeah. So even the foreigners that you like are even the foreigners, they don't have overlap. Say as a berserker that like I am sure that there are a couple of these man attribute servants that are also lawful. So you have two 50% power mods that work with Sei's MP and will follow up for her face cards, aka her buster crits. And if they happen to be a shadow servant too. And going back to the Vitch thing, Vitch get like again, Vitch brings man attribute power mod. So there is synergy. Like Sei's kit is definitely a mess right now on NA. But it's not like she's the worst servant to ever come out. Like it's not like she's the most unfunctioning servant that has come out in the last year. And yes, this is using clairvoyance to like, if regular Ruler Skadi wasn't coming out, I definitely would rate her lower, but it's not like she doesn't do stuff. Ascension, these are literally mats you can get in the event just by farming. I forget if Oni Leafs are in the event. Let's check. And shop. Oh, sorry. Oni Leafs. Nope. So, outside of Oni Leafs and Gears, you can get most of her skill stuff in the event and her Ascension mats. These are in the event. These are in the event. These are in the event. No ice. And Bonsi. A fairly good one, actually, as a support. Like, if you need her for the burn immunity, party regen, MP damage while she's on the field. I mean, she's only going to be on the field for a turn, but that's still free stats that you don't have to spec for like a really heavy CE. I mean, you can obviously put 20-30, but I mean, if Sei's not dying before you attack, like, it's not bad to have. It's just you probably have better options, or you're just not going to give her a CE. Again, this is very, very niche, and you're not going to need burn immunity often, if ever. You can probably brute force it without it. I'm just saying it's something she can do. Should you summon for her? Not right now, but if you were to summon for her later, next year, it would be on Summer Kama's banner after Summer Ibuki already came out. This isn't like these 4 stars and Summer Kama aren't servants you can wait for next year, because the servants that come out next year are really, really strong and on separate banners. If you want to get Sei now, you're gonna have to rule for Ruler Skadi. So regardless, you are still going to have to summon at that time. I know a lot of people are like empty on courts after the murders row we had this summer with Lost Belt 6 and Anniversary. This Sei isn't someone you should summon for right now, and unfortunately, the competition for her 5-star is just, it is so hard to tell someone to summon for Summer Kama when Summer Ibuki is out on Raid Up. It is ridiculously hard. If you want to like save yourself the choice, try to get her now. But yeah, like I wanted to get her just because now I have every single berserker in the game across all my accounts, besides Cha-Cha, and that's evocation that will happen eventually. It was a pride thing for me. Save your money if you can. All right, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Thank you for making it to the end of this video. If you enjoyed, drop a like or sub. Hope to see you in the next one. Peace.